arguably the biggest topic of the summer, which will certainly bleed over into the entire season, the Battle of L.A. It's a Wild West, but the epicenter, 3D, is right there at Staples Center.
Yeah, it really is, because we're talking about today. We know big picture is still the Lakers town. But the fact that you have two young superstars who grew up in the city of L.A. and they understand why they want to play for the Clippers versus the Lakers is a big story within itself. But now I feel that because we're talking about today, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George will feed off of Doc Rivers guys and figure out a way, how do they win now, and try to change the narrative. This is now a Clipper town.
And we all know it's about chemistry and who likes to play with each other. You have some guys in the Clippers. I look at Patrick Beverley, Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, Shamet, the young guy, play well.
Yeah.
They don't care about coming off the bench. Those two guys in Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams could have been 6, and we had a 7th man award.
Yeah.
Montrezl Harrell could have won that. So you start to saying we're adding 2 superstars. That does not affect Lou Williams' game. Lou Williams comes in to score. If he's not scoring, he knows he can go sit down. So I think what Doc Rivers and those guys have, they don't have chemistry problems. I think they'll come in and they can have guys that understand it's all about winning.
Look, I'm not going to just dismiss LeBron James and Anthony Davis. You're talking about 2 of the greatest players in the league, and you're talking about LeBron James in the conversation as being the greatest player. But when you look at the Clippers, and you look at the owner over there and what they're trying to do, and then when you bring in, and Smitty said it, you bring in 2 guys from L.A., born and raised. So now, the fans in L.A. going to be torn. Do we root for our hometown Lakers, or do we root for our hometown boys who grew up in L.A.? And then you look at the owner. The Clippers owner, he's trying to make a big push to wrestle this town away from the Lakers. So for me, it's going to be intriguing, because when these 2 teams play each other, it's going to be a lot at stake, not just home court advantage, not just seeding, but for the soul of L.A. And I'm telling you right now, knowing Doc Rivers, how competitive he is, he would love nothing more than to snatch all the fame and the spotlight from the Lakers.
Sam, I had a question. If you start talking about in sync, how important is it for you, from ownership to management to coach to players, that are all in sync to win championships and win games?
Well, if you ask me between the Lakers and Clippers who's more in sync right now, based on if the season started today, I got to say the Clippers. You look at the Lakers, they've been in influx. They couldn't decide on a coach. They went back and forth with personnel. You had Magic Johnson in, and you had Magic Johnson out. You look at the Clippers. All they did was sit back and sign who? They got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, and they kept their team intact. And other than that, they've had a quiet, uneventful offseason.
And they kept a front office intact that other teams came looking to poach and get those assistant general managers. That front office is deep, if you care about things like that. But let's talk about the coaching staffs here, particularly Frank Vogel for the Lakers. How much pressure is on him to figure this out? Because, listen, we love Frank. He's worked with us here. But every coach LeBron has ever had has been on the hot seat.
Yeah, and for sure, you look at a Frank Vogel, what kind of chemistry and relationship does he have with LeBron James? It's not easy, from what we hear, to coach a LeBron James, because the reason why, he understands the game just as well as you do. Now you look at the second coach, and I look at this, I have to defer to Sam with this. You have Jason Kidd, who's been a head coach. How much is he going to have to become assistant coach role? Now you look at the other coaches. That's why I defer to the Clippers. Is Doc? Now you have a T. Lue who didn't get the job with the Lakers. Sam Cassell, guys have done it. They have a more in sync. I look at Frank Vogel. This is going to be a very tough year, because the first thing I would ask Frank Vogel, what kind of style of play are you playing? I know he has the answers, but I don't know what they're doing right now off the jump, 3D and Sam.
Well, the thing that's concerning for me, when you look at Frank Vogel as the coach, and he wasn't a slam dunk choice for the Lakers, and then you got Jason Kidd as the associate head coach, kind of looking over his shoulders. That's tough. When you're coaching, and you're coaching LeBron James, and you're coaching the Lakers, and the media spotlight's on you, and then you got an assistant coach, a first assistant coach, and a young coach, Jason Kidd, who've had some success, who was talked about as being the head coach. Now you got 2 guys, and the rumors are already out there. If Frank Vogel struggles at any point, you got Jason Kidd right there sitting on the bench beside. And the worst thing as a head coach you can have is when you're sitting on the bench, the guys to your left, that you don't have complete confidence that they're with you, that everybody has a different motive. That's the thing that they're going to have to fight against.
Don't forget, Lionel Hollins applied for the job, too, and he's on the bench.
And that's where I was going. Lionel Hollins. So you have so many great coaches. So Frank Vogel, to answer your question, that seat is very hot. We haven't even played a game yet.
What are fair expectations for the Lakers? We'll get into that conversation later. New faces in new places. Type of expectations are on Kyrie Irving, plus a guy we know all too well, but injuries have decimated the Warriors, plus the departure of Kevin Durant. What can we expect in the Bay Area. Plus Zion Williamson bursting onto the NBA scene. You won't be able to escape watching Zion on national TV. How much can we expect from him in his rookie campaign? We're coming back.